Welcome to the Spot Real Talk. My name is Tiara.
I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Ron.
And today we are back here to talk about Your Honor. This is season 2, episode 3, titled Part 13. And before we even get started, please make sure you drop down and click that subscribe button. And also like the video so that it can get pushed out to more people. So we appreciate you guys' support. So please show it back by liking, subscribing, and you can click that notification bell. So now let's jump into the conversation. I really enjoyed this episode. This is one of my favorite ones so far. Oh my gosh, that whole scene where like Michael is getting into it with Jimmy just had me going, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself. We're gonna get there. So it seemed like initially Michael is still kind of shocked by the news of finding out he has a grandson, and so he's kind of like pacing back and forth, walking around, and Olivia kind of like bursts his bubble. It's like, "Hi, Grandpa!" Like she gives him a call. And I'm like, so this lady really has like just been following him around and watching every move he makes. And it's really weird how she's kind of stalking. I know she got him out of jail, but she's really cornering him into a position where he has to give her information.
That's what it is. And she's trying to make sure that he doesn't tip anybody off too.
Yeah.
She's trying to make sure he stays focused on the mission, which is getting, the Baxter family, for her and stuff. But she knows that, Charlie is his friend and everything and stuff. Mm-hmm. So she's just trying to make sure that he sticks to the plan and doesn't tip anybody off.
Right.
And personally, I can't see a problem with that because she has a job to do. And she seems to be doing it pretty well. I mean, what I see with the good judge is he's still so messed up in the mind that no matter what she says to him, it's not correlating with him. It doesn't register, because if I were he, I would be pretty pissed off that I'm in this position because of the Baxter family.
I think he is pissed off. I mean, he seems apprehensive.
But I'm pissed off to the point that I would want to bring them down. If it were me, I would want to bring them down, because look what they did to him. They really destroyed his career, his life, everything. They took it.
I mean, that's what Olivia was saying. Olivia was like, "Why don't you want to take them down? Exactly. Like, why do I have to force you?"
Right, and he just
because they're dangerous people. I think that's the other thing.
Well,
but at this point, he probably felt like he didn't have anything to live for anyway. But
exactly, and he showed that in jail. I mean, he wasn't eating; he was really ready to die.
Yeah, and so it's interesting that he wouldn't have that kind of animosity towards that family. And I think that he's been kind of standoffish towards the baby and to Fia because he doesn't know really how to process it yet.
Exactly.
And, Fia showed up at the butcher shop and she was trying to talk to him, but he just didn't seem like it had been fully digested. Like he was kind of like, I don't really know how to deal with this yet. And Fia seemed like she understands. But later on, she invites him to the park and they're discussing, heaven and things like that. But then Rocco shows up and completely ruins the moment. I'm sorry, not Rocco, Carlo.
Carlo, right. Mm-hmm.
Carlo shows up and ruins the moment. And he's just being rude and basically telling Michael that he's a bum. He told Fia he was going to apologize, but he went over with Michael to the side and continued to antagonize him, calling him a bum and all kinds of stuff. So it was like, I could see why Michael don't want to be associated with
Kettle, because Carlo is a bum.
Right.
Carlo is a bum because his own father was trying to instill in him like some type of work ethic and trying to give him the vision and just telling him, like, I'm trying to give you a legacy and we can do this and that. And Carlo was uninterested. In between him and his mom, both of them are the weakest link.
Look, I was glad to see both of them. True, and I was glad to see Jimmy get some balls and handle his wife. This episode, because she's off the chain.
And she is beyond off the chain. That woman completely emasculated him.
Yes, she did. And I was glad he snatched her up.
He
Because
snatched
I
her
was
up.
just like, you are out of pocket. I told y'all, it speaks to what I said to y'all last week. I said, that's why they're sleeping in separate bedrooms. Because she
Yes.
keeps throwing in his face that he hasn't done enough. And you disgust me. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. She's stepping all over his manhood and everything. And so, yeah, because she can't have her way,
Right.
she's punishing him.
That comment she made about Frank, that could have got her killed alone.
Yeah.
Ooh, you know what? She was inches away from a backhand. In fact, I could feel it coming, and I was surprised. I mean, he held it back, but
yeah, I think he's more of a thinker. That's the thing. I say he's not reactionary. She and Carlo are reactionary.
Very much.
Yes, and the way that Carlo, Michael actually ends up calling him Harry the Hook. And so he's like, well, who is that? And I think he's kind of like, he put that seed in his head. And so when Carlo went and looked up who this guy was, he was like, oh, you can still come after me. I think he made that realization that double jeopardy doesn't apply when there was no jeopardy in the first situation.
And it also put in Carlo's head, wait a minute, Dad, I didn't just get, you didn't just get me out. I mean, let me put it this way. Justice wasn't necessarily done just on my
No, it was a corrupt judge. That's the only reason why you're out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, so you really owe Judge, Michael, you really owe him more than what you think, because your little behind should have remained in jail.
Absolutely. And so that was a funny scene when he finally realized what that meant.
Exactly.
And for me, I felt like it was foreshadowing. I said, when he told him that, I was like, Carlo is probably going to end up back in the band.
Yeah. And you seen how Jimmy reacted, because he was like, oh no, we gonna nip this in the bud. He seen Michael sitting over there at the bar, and he walked right over and was like, you can't drink here. And so, but that whole scene, that conversation, that was my favorite part of the episode, because Michael finally got to ask him, if we had actually done what we were originally going to do and turned Adam in, would you have forgiven him? Would you have moved on? And of course, Jimmy plays it like, yeah, of course. Like, why are you choosing to see me as this monster? I'm any other person. He's just playing up the whole thing.
But I think the judge saw right through that, which is why he did exactly what he did. Because, had he not done that, Jimmy would have killed his son right there,
And he admitted it. He said, I would have killed him with my own hands.
He admitted it to Frank.
Not
to him though. He told him I would have spared him. And that's what I said to y'all in another episode. I was like, Adam was dead either way. If he had turned him in, we would have killed him.
Exactly.
He was dead regardless.
Right. Exactly.
But he was really playing with Michael's emotions there, trying to guilt trip him. And so that's what I was like, oh my God, this scene is so powerful, because I think Michael really did feel for a second like, dang, this could have been my fault. All this could have been prevented if I just brought Adam forward.
That thought may have crossed his mind. I think though the main character in this whole thing is Thea, and I think she's going to be, if it works out, she's going to be the one to kind of take some heat off Judge Michael.
Yeah, she's really going to be the voice of reason when things start to blow over.
Right. And that those two grandfathers are going to have to live with their differences, because we have a grandbaby, and Thea ain't for no mess. So I can see her, as you said, being that bridge between the two of them.
Because she could say, like, listen to her dad, like, if you're going to do this, then you're not going to be around.
Yeah.
Grandma, this baby and stuff. And that would hurt them, because you can see that that they're both, the mother and the father, Jimmy, they're attached to the baby.
Yes. And you can see how much legacy matters to him, and how he really wants his family together. So that would be something that would be maybe a deal breaker for him, where he might change his tune.
I think so.
And getting back to Gina and how she completely blindsided Jimmy by joining him on their visit to go talk with the mayor. Man, Gina, she is 100% on my get the hands list this week. She got the hands, but she needed them a little bit more. Okay, because first of all, she goes up in there, and then they're trying to negotiate the deal so that they can get the land to build up their whole vision for their family empire. And of course, Charlie is playing hardball. He's like, that process really wasn't all that competitive, and we're opening up the rebidding process. But Gina kind of goes off on him, talking about how he helped Big Mo get the club and stuff. So she really was calling him out, calling his bluff, and being very aggressive, with him. When you're trying to negotiate, you don't come at somebody's neck like that. And she was being overly aggressive with him.
Exactly.
Yeah. And Jimmy was really kind of being more diplomatic with it, trying to be more subtle, and she just blew up the whole meeting.
Well, just as you said earlier, she was again trying to emasculate this man by not allowing him to go through the normal negotiating processes. Because I think Jimmy was trying to be a cool-headed type of person, and who knows, he may have gotten the deal, maybe not then and there, but when she said she was coming, I would have locked the door on her or something, throw in the room, lock the door, because he had to have known no good was going to come from that with her. Mm-hmm. Well, of course, he didn't know, but I don't know. Lock her up, throw her in a room, and throw away the key. Because this woman she's bat crazy.
Mm-hmm. Look, they had the contract before with, when they won the competition, but it was because suddenly the competitor disappeared. So I was like, who disappeared him? Clearly the family disappeared him. And that's what Charlie knows and everything. And so what he was trying to say, even when Gina was talking about the business with Mo, and she was alluding to the fact she was a drug dealer, he was also talking about keeping the providing help for small businesses and minority businesses in the community. Like, they already have the hotel and have most of the block stuff. So he said he made a commitment to the people that elect.
But Charlie's a crook too.
Is, but what he was saying to her was right about
the community. It made sense.
And who put him there?
I would have if Gina hadn't been there, and it made sense for Charlie to say we gotta send out the RFP again, and for Jimmy just go and do a natural bid. You may win it, but then again, I think that more conversation with Charlie, he might have, been able to sway him his way a little bit, because we all know business deals like that, particularly when we're talking about a land development. It's never that cut and dry, really always inside, there's that inside game that we on the outside will never ever see. So, and as I said, Charlie's a crook. So who knows what it might have taken to get Charlie on his side.
He didn't want to do what his predecessor signed on.
I know, but
that contract took place under him, and I don't think he wanted to do business with.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't,
and that's why he's sending out another RFP.
But again, like I say, once a crook, always a crook. You just don't know. I don't know what I don't know what Charlie. I like Charlie. Well, I like him.
It is, of course, a crooked politician, but not to the level that you think he is. I think he really does want to keep the work in the hands of the community.
Not to the level I think he is. Look what he just did. He helped a drug dealer buy a legitimate
a business, a small business, club.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. I mean, he has no I don't see a level with him. I mean, I think Charlie does what's best for Charlie, and making a deal, with Big Mo was a good deal for Charlie. Charlie wanted to do that.
They're trading favors.
Yeah, they are trading favors, like most politicians do. But she is a drug dealer. She's also a Black woman owned business. They're going to employ Black musicians and other folks and turn a profit in the quarter. And the Baxters own most of
but we know
the hotels and the business there. So I think he's trying to level the playing field.
Well, but we also know that place will be a good place for her to launder money. And
yeah,
Charlie knows that.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, so, I'm glad he went that way. I mean, he could have gone white, but he went black. Okay, I get that. I like that.
Well, look, all of this is still pending because we know Gina just stuck her hands up in the deal.
Oh, yeah.
And now she wants to try to buy the club out from up underneath Mo.
And not only that, they got this guy, he's 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. I mean, now Big Mo says, if you don't give it to me, I'll kill you. And Gina is pretty much saying the same thing. If you don't give it to me, I'm going to kill you. So look at what happened. So let's go back. Charlie has put this guy at greater risk than he ever was prior to all this. And so what is...
He was at risk anyway because Gina stepped in.
Yep.
No, I'm saying had Big Mo, had he not gone to help Big Mo with that deal, I think Big Mo would have walked away from it, realizing that he didn't want to sell. At least she didn't strong arm him when he said no to her in the beginning.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. She did strong arm him. She told the dude, because he said, the white dude, he said for Gina, she said she made it clear that this would be bad for my long-term health.
No. I'm talking about the very beginning when Gina went to the owner and asked to buy, and he said, no, I'm not doing that because I'm not selling my business to a drug dealer. And then what Big Mo did was went to Charlie to talk to this guy. So so at least he wasn't, in harm's way, maybe, at that point in time. So now Charlie gets in.
He was always in harm's way because Big Mo also said to him, like after Gina went to the guy, he communicated to Mo that if I do this deal, she made it clear that this would be bad for my long-term health. Big Mo says, well, this could be bad for your short-term health. She threatened him too. So he was always at risk.
No, but that was already after he had said to Big Mo through Charlie, okay, let's make the deal. And rightfully so, he now goes to Big Mo and says, somebody else is offered 10% more. Well, now you're in the thick of things now. There's really nothing you can do because now you've accepted, you've tentatively accepted a deal.
Offered me in cash.
Exactly. Right. You've tentatively accepted a deal with Jimmy's wife. Gina. Was it Gina?
Her name is Gina.
Gina. You've accepted that. And now you want to go back on the deal with Big Mo. I don't know where you got that from because, Big Mo ain't nothing to play with either.
Right. But I mean, it's just a mess for that owner to be in, period, because he's in danger either way he goes.
Well, now
that was my point.
It's a horrible
point. I agree with the point. You made the point. I agree with it. It's just that, like, I was more or less thinking from Charlie's angle because Charlie was the one that kind of put him in this anyway.
Yeah, he went to back.
Yeah.
But now if we think about this situation that Lil Mo is in, where he goes to try to make the deal with the drug dealer who demanded that he buy, the 20 keys. So they had to front a larger amount of money, which Big Mo kind of lets him know, like, you haven't really dealt with this large amount of money. And last time you did, you kind of screwed it up a little bit. So a lot is hinging on this. So he goes out there to make the deal. And of course, his cousin has stuck his neck out there in order to bring the plug in, So once they decide they're going back on that deal, the cousin is rightfully upset. Like, Trey is like, I put my neck out there. Like, this dude is not going to take it well that you're reneging on the deal. So they end up fighting, having a little scuffle in the parking lot, and the police are of course there. And I don't know why they couldn't allow their reason to step in that situation, because now they're in a real bad position where they're getting arrested. That if Justin/Eugene hadn't been there to take the money, that really would have gone terribly for Lil Mo. The police would have been the least of his worries.
He took the phone, and I was like, please don't answer that phone, because first of all,
you're supposed to be dead.
You're supposed to be gone. Because remember, Lil Mo said that he got away.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the other thing that Big Mo basically reminded him of when she said to him, like, you pretty much you let me down on the last thing. So
Yeah.
this can't, like, she pretty much threatened him too. She like, this can't go awry, this second deal. Because you let me down last thing. And she was referring to Gene.
Mm-hmm. So I just,
the other thing too is a lack of communication, because you would think Little Mo would have said to his cousin right after he got off the phone with Big Mo, hey, I can't make this deal because of this. But instead you're like, no, I can't make the deal. I'm getting ready to run out with no explanation, no nothing. And his cousin,
it didn't matter. You
rightfully
can't
so.
a deal like that. That's a big, like, the amount of money, like what drug dealer is gonna be like, oh, okay, go ahead, go do what you. No, I couldn't see it was gonna go bad.
No, I'm not saying I'm not saying that his cousin would have said, yeah, I see what you're saying. But my point being is they could have possibly sat down and thought about it, because you got Little Mo between a rock and a hard place. If I make the deal, I'm gone. I'm bad. And if I don't make the deal, it's bad. Now, his cousin was concerned about his own life, because he can't go back to the plug and say, well, scratching his head, talking about, well, it didn't work out like I thought it would work out.
I fought Big Mo for that. And when I looked at this, I was looking at Mo, because I was like, she sent him out there. She told him to make this deal. And then you got him out there with somebody you don't even know. Because obviously this guy is a boss. Anytime, like, they were just trying to do like 2 keys. And he was like, no, you going to do 20 if you want to deal with me. This guy is a boss. And so you think that, so I'm just saying, so Big Mo, you think that you can tell, then Renee going to deal with somebody like that?
And
I fought Big Mo.
Oh, absolutely.
Me too.
Absolutely. She gets hands and feet because of that, because of what she put her, Little Mo in. And not only that, being greedy. You're trying to make 2 deals at one time, and you don't have the bank for that.
She wants the club really bad.
Right.
But she didn't really have the capital.
That's my point.
But then also, not only that, but it's clear that there are some strained family ties here, because Trey's mom, it seems like she and Mo are sisters.
Yeah.
And so it's like, when you renege on this deal, you're putting your nephew and your sister in danger. So did you not consider that?
No, because she, like I said, she's greedy. She wants everything. She wants the club. She wants, because initially you gave out the money because you realized you needed the plug. And now you look at, oh, I needed 10% more. So, hey, bring back my money at all costs. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't think that there's not going to be any repercussions from that?
Right.
Really?
Yeah, it's not going to go down very well. And the way Eugene was kind of eyeing that money, I was like, is he about to run off?
Is he going to bounce? Right. Well, I feel like next week, I think that Big Mo is going to probably find out that Eugene is alive, because I think, it seems to be like you said here, that they are estranged, probably Big Mo and Trey's mom. And so that's probably why Little Mo felt comfortable enough bringing Eugene there, because if they were speaking, she would already know that Eugene is there and stuff. So now I think this whole situation is probably going to force Big Mo to pull up, and she gonna find out that Gene is alive.
If I were Gene, I'd pick up the phone. I give her a call. Here's the reason why.
I wouldn't call it.
Here's the reason why. Because again, he's now 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other.
That's like Ben calling Helen in Ozark.
I know, but look. But you just said what he doesn't. The choices he has right now is to take the money and run, which would be an absolute failure and a death on your head, because Big Mo will find out from Little Mo that Eugene is still alive and that he was the last person with the money. So we know he can't run because she'll find him. And that's instant death if he were to do that.
That's a fact.
At least if he has the money and he somehow says to her, look, I'll put it somewhere here. This is where it's going to be, but I won't be there. Maybe she may.
I would not talk to her. I would bounce, because the thing is,
but what you going to do?
As long as she knows he's still alive and he's around, he is problematic with the Baxter family. The
Okay.
reason why there's peace right now, temporary peace, because they think that they killed him. If he then turns up, that is another issue.
But hold up, Mo knows that Eugene is still alive.
Right, Mo, right.
Yes, she does. But I'm saying, but if he doesn't stay gone, if he's suddenly back on the horizon, the risk.
I'm not saying go back into town. I'm saying contact her to let her know that the money is safe. Because my point being is right now, she wants that money. And and to me, I think she wants the money more than she wants her son, Lil Mo, out of jail. I don't know where her head is right now, but I know one thing. If it were me stuck with that money, see, that money's got death written all over it.
I think I'm with you, Ron. I would give her a call and be like, look, this where your money at. You can send somebody come get it. But I don't want no part.
Right. And then the part,
if you try to take it and run, if she's going to look at that as a theft.
Exactly. And he should take it and run. I'm saying he shouldn't call her.
But it's the same thing. But here's the thing.
It could be an anonymous note attached to it, maybe.
No.
Or send her a message. But I would not
call her. But you can't leave the money just sitting around somewhere because somebody else may take it that you don't even know. And so my point is, if he doesn't call her and she finds him with the money, it's just like he ran.
Yeah.
At this point, he has to minimize his death threats.
Oh, I agree. I understand what you're saying. I'm saying I would have found some way to leave her a note, message, but I don't know. But I would not call her.
You gotta call her. You gotta call her. Well, I'm gonna make that phone call and bounce. Look here. Here's your money. It's safe. I'm out.
Right. Yeah, I think I'm with you, Ron.
Yeah,
I hear you.
I'm done. I'm done.
And that might have been in the note. Money is safe. Look, I don't know about that message in the bottle.
How they gonna find the note?
She would have got the message, but I wouldn't call her.
Yeah, how they gonna find the note if they don't know where to find the money? Because you said
she would have got a note. It could have been in a locker somewhere. So this is here anonymously, whatever. But I would not have called her.
So you're gonna send her
knowing that she already wanted me dead.
So you saying you're gonna send her an email?
I didn't say email. I didn't say I said a message. I said either like a raven, like Game of Thrones, or a message in a bottle, whatever. I don't know. Some type of way she would have got the message. Your money is safe. It would have been in a locker somewhere. I don't know. But
but the only thing with that is that if anything goes wrong in that process, if that money is not exactly where you say it's gonna be,
right,
then it's still on you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. She need to know to think that I'm dead. I wouldn't have been in touch with her. I'm sorry. I don't think I wouldn't have been in touch with her.
Look,
I can't wait to see what Eugene does.
Either. I really can't, because I know one thing. If I'm in Florida and she's in Chicago, I didn't calculate it. How long it's gonna take her, either by plane or bus or train or car.
She's in New Orleans.
No, I'm just hypothetically.
Right.
I figured out how long it's going to take you after I made that phone call. So I know within an hour or two before your behind gets there, I need to bounce.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Eugene is smart enough to work something out.
Yeah,
he's a smart young man. He's already been through a lot. And I think he's had to mature quicker than the average child his age. So hopefully he can make a very smart decision that will keep him out of harm's way.
So let me ask, what about her sister? What about Eugene saying, hey, look, I got to bounce. I can't hang on to this, but this is your sister's money. And, I'm going to make a phone call, let her know it's with you. And I'll see you later. I'm done. I'm gone.
You know what? That's even better for me. Let sis call. I would not call.
That might be an option.
Yeah, that's
what I'm saying. There would be an intermediary. There would be a tip for that call.
That's the only option he has to minimize his death threats.
Mm-hmm. Well, look, y'all got me anxious for next week now. Right? I need to know what's gonna happen. I gotta know, and I just need to know how Lil Mo is gonna get out of this situation. I mean, fighting in the street ain't that serious of a charge, so hopefully he can get off easy.
Well, the thing is, he threw that guy through a pane window, and now, that's a whole nother that's a whole nother thing altogether. Now you got
vandalism and more stuff. It's
a mess. It's a mess.
Yeah, hopefully he can work his way out of that situation. But this, I tell you, was one of my favorite episodes so far.
It was really good. It was really good.
Yeah, so I thoroughly enjoyed it. Do you guys have anything you want to add or any other predictions?
I'm good.
Nope. Yeah, okay, well, I just want to thank everyone out there for watching. Please drop down in that comment box and give us your thoughts on this episode and your predictions as well, because I want to know what you think. Also hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and like the video. Very important to keep supporting us and helping our content to grow. Also click the notification bell so you get alerted whenever we post, and we are also on all social media platforms at The Spot Real Talk, so you can give us a follow on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok as well. I think we kind of summed it up really well. So I hope you all enjoyed watching today, and we'll be back next week to discuss episode 4. Good night.
Good night.
Yeah, look, tell me what's the vibes, what's the mood? Yeah, I just hit a mic key for the juice. Yeah, ain't no capping, I'ma tell the truth. I've been winning for so long, it's hard to lose. Yeah, be my source.